Hello guys, I am back from another review and today we're talking about Prince of Wrath. So in the last video, after getting some brand new clothes, he goes to UA for the UA entrance exam. So, Izuku finished it with fine colors and also saves a girl by the name of Fuyumi Todoroki. So, after, a bit of talking, apparently, Shoto Todoroki, died from overtraining from Endeavor. So, after a few weeks have gone by, Izuku gets the letter and basically was told that he's, going to be going to UA soon. Not only that, he's gonna be going to Class 1A. So, yeah. So, let's talk about what happens next. So, Izuku goes into one of his desks that he uses for while writing and mostly eating because he doesn't have another table for while eating. Izuku goes in goes into the drawer of the desk and basically gets this little mirror. This mirror is basically a magic mirror which allows him to basically contact his father Azazel and his mother Inko. So Izuku uses it as he calls Azazel, aka Izuku's father. Azazel says this. Izuku, so how's your days in the human world? Izuku says this. Absolutely great. I actually got into UA. Not only that, I'm gonna be going to class 1A. As Inko hears that, she says this. Oh, Izuku, I'm so proud of you for that. As as for wait for a second. As Azazel says this. Oh, I'm so proud of you, son. So, do you have a girlfriend yet? As Izuku says this, sorry, father, but I don't really have a girlfriend yet. As Inko says this. Okay, if you find a girlfriend, please get the one that's really nice to you. Not only that, you also need to find somebody that's also willing to marry you. And Izuku says this. Okay, mom. So, after turning off his magic mirror, he starts going back to his bed and goes to sleep. So, after a few weeks have gone by, it's finally time for Izuku, to go to UA for his first day at, at UA High. So, wait for a second. So, Izuku starts flying off to, UA using his, his six golden, wings, or at least his 30 golden wings. As he arrives, as all of the students start looking at Izuku, seeing his, horns, and, some of his, well, Izuku's hair is still like well all white, but he has some streaks of green. So when Izuku arrives at class 1A, Izuku sees two of his brand new classmates fighting. One of them was a girl with blonde hair and red eyes, which Izuku recognizes as the girl that's really prideful. The girl that Izuku was annoyed well was annoyed from the entrance exam. As Izuku also sees the boy with the blue hair, blue eyes and glasses from the entrance exam. As the boy with the blue hair and blue eyes says this. Oh, you must be one of our other classmates. Nice to meet you. My name is Tenya Ida. Izuku says this. Wait, you're the guy that scolded me even though I didn't do anything. As he says this. Oh, I'm quite sorry. Let's just forget about that. As for the girl, she says this. Please don't annoy me. As Ida says this. Duh. Anyway, my name is Teddy Ida. How about yours? Izuku says this. My name is Izuku Array. As he says this, what an interesting last name, Mr. Array. Izuku says this, just call me Izuku. So, when Izuku goes to his well seat, Izuku sees Fuyumi. Fuyumi says this, hey Izuku, as Izuku says this, oh hello, Fuyumi. So, when the other girls arrive and they see Izuku, because Izuku's half angel, that means Izuku's pretty good looking. The rest of these girls that when they saw Izuku, they instantly fell in love. So they started crowding around Izuku, saying that he's quite handsome, and saying that they want to wondering if they can have his number. Izuku starts getting crowded, and Izuku says this, please stop. The only ones that are not attracted to Izuku all that much is Bakugo and Fuyumi. While they were talking, and for Izuku he's basically getting crowded by several girls. They see a yellow, whatever it is, it looks yellow. As Mina, which is the girl with pink hair and pink eye, I mean pink girl, the pink hair and yellowish eyes. She says this, a caterpillar monster. As it starts moving, as it apparently it's a beanbag or a sleeping bag or whatever you want to call it. It opens up as they see. For some reason, Izuku thought it was Wait for a second. Izuku almost thought it was his uncle Barbatos, which, if you don't know, Barbatos, well, is a demon that seems to have the ability to basically find treasure and talk to animals. And it's also the name of one of the Gundams in Iron Blooded Orphans, specifically the Gundam Barbatos. So, when Izuku saw him more clearly, Izuku recognizes him as one of the heroes that Izuku saw on the poster. His name is Eraserhead, aka Aizawa. As Izuku says this, wait, you're Eraserhead. As Aizawa says this, so we don't need introductions then? Fine. So, I'm your teacher, Mr. Aizawa. As everybody else that's not Izuku said this, wait, you're our teacher? As Aizawa says this, yeah, so please shut up. Everybody else, just go outside and get ready. So, they were given tracksuits as they started going off to to the locker rooms. So, Izuku starts changing with some of the other boys. As a boy with red hair and red eyes and sharp teeth says this, whoa, your abs are pretty like wow, you're really muscular, dude. How you like this? Izuku says this, it's training. As he says this, nice to meet you, man. The name's Kirishima. Izuku says this, nice to meet you. My name is Izuku Ray. As he says this, um, pardon me? What is your last name again? Izuku says this, Izuku Array. As he says this, I never heard that last name before. It sounds like a foreigner's name. Izuku says this, yeah, it's my last name is Latin. As he says this, cool. Some of the other boys were also quite interested in him, like saying how did he get these chiseled abs, and how does he get all of these muscles. Izuku starts telling them some routines so they can become stronger, except for Mineta, because Izuku can sense sins, or a person sins. Izuku senses several lots and lots of lust emanating from from Mineta. Izuku is starting to get pissed off from him, mostly because he's peeking through a crack in the wall and looking through the girls' locker room. So wait for a second. So Izuku starts coming towards Mineta, as Mineta says this. I absolutely love these. He starts getting starts floating up, as Izuku looks at him. As Mineta says this, do you have a problem? Izuku says this, a very, very, very problem. Like, no, not like I meant. I have a serious problem with you. I meant. As Mineta says this, what do you mean by that? Aizuku says this, you stupid fucking pervert. Aizuku throws him off the building, like literally yeets him, breaking through several of the walls. As the rest of the boys said this, yeesh. Are you that angry at him? Aizuku says this, yes, I'm seriously pissed off of I meant this. I'm seriously mad at perverts. They're absolutely disgusting. But if you didn't know, there's also a demon lord that also represents lust, named Asmodeus. Izuku's pretty much angry at him because one time he was going to a party, but he was left at the let's just say a really dangerous place in the ring of lust. And you know what happened? Just just think about that. Just picture it in your head. Just imagine the most worst thing that happened to Izuku in the lust ring. Highlighting lust ring. Just just to picture that. Just picture it. Yeah, that is why Izuku hates Asmodeus and also hates Mineta. So after Izuku done that, let's go into the minds of the girls in the girls' locker room. So in the mind of Fuyumi, she says this towards everybody. Did you hear a shockwave or felt something? As Baku said this, just shut up. As she says this, you don't need to be so mean. As Mina says this, yeah, I almost felt like a big shockwave. Anyway, girls, um, that boy there, that Izuku guy, he's quite hot. As all of the girls except for Fuyumi and Bako basically started agreeing with Mina, as they started looking towards well Fuyumi. One of the girls, being Momo, said this. Wait, I heard that he saved you during the entrance exam. As she says this, yeah, but he actually just saved me because of, maybe points, I guess. As all of the girls start looking at her, and they said this. No, I'm not accepting this. Like, they literally said that in front of her. As Ochako said this. Yeah, I think he's just saved you just because you're quite hot. I mean, you're the daughter of the number 2 hero. As she says this, no, he probably doesn't want to do that. She starts like blushing a lot as the girls started getting a little bit jealous. But for Bakugo, she says this: if he's really that powerful, then I want to show that this guy should not underestimate me. She starts cracking she starts cracking her fingers as she says this. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is allowed to be stronger than me. As she starts creating little explosions in her hands. The girls are a bit afraid as Aizawa says this. Alright, if you're already done, get out of here. So, when everybody gets out of the locker rooms, they were told that they're gonna be going over there to the what's it called? To a little training area where they're gonna be doing their quirk examination. So, Izuku was first to do it because he gets first place in the entrance exam. As Bakugo said this, then If he gets first place, he starts to be as she starts becoming a little bit mad. As she says this, I'm supposed to be the one that's supposed to be first. As Aizawa says this, if you don't want to behave, I'm going to expel you. Got it? She's pretty much mad, but she accepted it. So, Aizawa says to Izuku to basically throw the ball as hard as he can. So, Izuku creates a large baseball bat. As Momo said this, I didn't know that he has the same quirk as me, but when she looks at it a little bit more thoroughly, well, Izuku's quirk is a little bit different. Instead of his objects going inside of his skin or coming out of his skin every time when he creates an object or reabsorbs it, well, it basically creates this little energy and it forms the object. So Izuku grabs a baseball bat and Izuku says this, alright, batter up. Izuku throws the ball into the ground as it bounces up as uses the bat and basically hits it as it's the baseball is just completely gone. Like when they saw Izuku well wait for a second. When they saw Izuku hit the ball, well they they didn't see the ball well at all until a big shockwave happens. They started falling down to their feet. I meant falling down out of their feet and hitting their bums. Izuku says this, I think that's a bit too much. As Izawa says, you think? As they see, the clouds, they're separated, like instantly separated, creating like rings of, just like rings. As they also see, the ground, the ground is a bit, broken. As in broken, I mean, it causes a, it caused a little, chasm to form. As Aizawa says this, guess you get the highest score. I seriously need to get this fixed. I seriously need to get this fixed. Everybody's impressed at Izuku except for Bakugo, thinking that she should be the number one here. So, the next is so the next thing is basically or the next test is the race. So Ida is going to be racing against Izuku, but when they started, Izuku goes faster than Ida because he is a half fallen angel slash demon. I mean, fallen angels and demons are technically the same because Lucifer is a fallen angel and also Azazel is a fallen angel. So yeah. So after doing that, Izuku gets first place at that. So Izuku gets first place in everything. But for Bakugo, she gets third place, and Fuyumi gets um like like some of them are third places for others, and for others they're basically just second places. As Bakugo said this is unfair. I'm supposed to be number one here. Izuku says this, at least try and act like a hero and not like a villain. As she says this, what did you say? As she's about to attack Izuku, Izuku is about to block, but accidentally slips and in typical anime fashion, they accidentally kiss. Yep, maybe a second ship will be coming soon. And for the person that asked for harem, I'm gonna make this a harem. So yeah. So when Izuku accidentally kissed Bakugo, she says this. Why you? As Izuku says this, I'm really sorry about that. As she starts becoming mad, as Bakugo said this. You stole my first kiss. Now this is personal. As she starts becoming a little bit more madder, creating more explosions. As she says this, time to die, nerd. As she starts charging in at these, as when Baku's about to well, about to plummet Izuku back to hell by just using her explosions. Well, Aizawa basically intervenes and basically uses as well his scarf to basically stop her from basically causing Izuku to basically die, basically, even though Izuku is probably not gonna die from a normal explosion. As Baku said this, get me out of this thing! I want to kill that bastard! As Aizawa says this, alright, this is going to be the end of the day, so all of you get all of your bags and start going home. So, when Izuku is going home, Izuku decides to, go on a train. So, when Izuku is going to the subway, Izuku sees Bakugo. As Baku said this, you. And she's about to charge at Izuku using her explosions. Well, a policeman stops them from basically destroying the entire place because Bakugo has an explosion quirk after all. So they get into the train. As Baku said this, get off of me, you damn pervert. As Izuku says this, pervert, I'm not. As she says this, then why did you accidentally kiss me then? And Izuku says this, it was an accident. And she says this, liar. While they were arguing in the train, well, they finally arrived at their destination. So Izuku says, well, finally goodbye to Bakugo, as Bakugo said this, shut up, nerd. So, they go into their separate ways, as when Izuku goes back to his apartment, Izuku feels a hand. Izuku sees Bakugo, as Bakugo says this, what are you doing here? As Izuku says this is my apartment, as she says this. Oh no. As Izuku, tells Bakugo to go first because, she's a lady, and she says this, whatever. So, when she goes back into, the apartment where Izuku goes there, that's his home after all, as she says this, Mom, why is this guy here? As Mitsuki says this, oh, this is our brand new, customer, or patron. Meet Izuku as she says this. I said shut up, Mom. I told you. Actually, not told. Not I meant I said this. Nobody that's like weaker than me is allowed here. As she says this, she kind of sighs as Bako says this. Oh no. As she basically brings out a slipper, I'm talking about Mitsuki, and she says this. Well then, I guess it's time for disciplining then. As she says this, oh crap, as she starts running away. I'm talking about Bakugo. She starts like running away instantly when she saw that, slipper. As she says this to Izuku, I'm talking about Mitsuki. Mitsuki says this, can you please excuse me, Izuku? Izuku says this, okay, just give me back my key. As she says this, oh, okay. As she starts running towards Izuku's, I meant running towards, Bakugo. As in running, I mean she starts following Bakugo back to her room. As she says this, they're gonna pay for that, Bakugo. As she starts saying, crap, 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 crap. Izuku says this, well, that's quite a dysfunctional family. So, after Izuku says that to himself, Izuku starts going back to, his apartment, or at least his room. Izuku goes into, his room. Izuku decides to, get some rest. So after eating dinner, he goes into his bed face first as Izuku says this. That felt painful. That stupid kiss. He basically just starts blushing Izuku says this. Just go to sleep, just go to sleep, just go to sleep. After, well, an hour, he goes to sleep. Because, well, that was a completely embarrassing moment in his, well, lifetime ever. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video. Comment and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Sorry about that part. So, but before you leave, guys, I just want all of you guys to, well, just pick a ship for Izuku. As in ship, I mean like, well, picking what girls should be in Izuku's harem. I already got two already, which are just, well, Bakugo and Fuyumi. Just pick one more girl in the comments, okay? Like, for example, Ochako or like, Davi. Just pick any, like, girl or gender swap one of the, or just gender swap one of the guys or something like that. So, okay? Okay. So, goodbye.